All right, we are live here doing a little Loco live broadcast. We got our man, the Ghost, Ron Parker. He promised he would come back. First he promised he would come on if the Chiefs made it to the Super Bowl. Then he promised he'd come back if they won it. And y'all saw it on Sunday. Chiefs are the Super Bowl champs. So we got the Ghost back on here to help us break it down and react to the game. And man, it was a phenomenal game. I'll first just kind of share what my experience with the game was. Because, like I said, we had a gymnastics meet in Florence. So we were booking it back, and I watched the first half and a little bit of the third quarter. Didn't watch, but I was listening to the broadcast and sneaking a peek every now and then driving down 95. And it was stressful. It was not going well. But then we got home, and, I was like, man, we're only down by we were only down by 10 at half, and I was feeling good when we got home. We had a shot, came out, scored that touchdown. And of course, I hated how it ended. I'm not going to lie. I hated that the penalty was controversial, and that kind of put a little bit of a stain on the comeback that the Chiefs pulled off in the second half, and just the quality of the game in general. But man, it was a phenomenal Super Bowl. The feeling of having your team win one when it's like an all-time classic game is just amazing. But Ghost, tell me about your experience. Were you on pins and needles? Who were you texting with, talking with, and what was the experience for you?
I was with one of my buddies, one of my best friends, my roommate in college. I watched the game at his house. We had a Super Bowl party at his house, and I was just kind of laid back and a little bit nervous coming to the game. You know what I mean? Just being that Philly on paper had the best team, so everybody who was a KC fan was a little bit nervous at the end of the game because we didn't know how far Pat was for injury, so we were just waiting for the tip. I mean, for the ball to be kicked off, man, and to see how our quarterback get to moving. And then once the game start, once the game start, and we seen how things was moving, man. I just kind of sat back and just watched, man, and just watch Pat do his thing because I know that we got a great coach, and I know the guys was experienced and they was ready to go. So I kind of just let the chips fall where they fall, man, and our experience helped us in the end, and we got the W, and that was big.
Were you still believing when the Chiefs were down a couple scores as we went into halftime with Pat Mahomes a little limpy, kind of injured ankle, and then he comes back and leads your Chiefs on just a historic comeback, a phenomenal effort from both sides of the ball, but Mahomes just rising to another level and just really showing his greatness even with going through all the pain of having to deal with an injury. I mean, just exemplifies why he's one of the greatest quarterbacks in the league and maybe at the end of the day of all time.
Yeah, man. Just when we was down 10 going into the half, I knew we got the ball back at halftime. So I was a little worried when Pat went down. You know what I mean? When he went down and he got back up, we were shaking a little bit. I was a little worried that he messed his ankle up a little bit, but just to see him come back out there and come and move the ball downfield the way they did, I think that speaks volume for an MVP quarterback and to lead your team. That's what you want to see coming out of halftime, being down 10 to give you that confidence that we're still in the game. I knew that once we get the ball back at halftime, I knew that we would probably come back down and score. I've been in the locker room plenty of times. I know the talk. So Andy, we didn't have no chance to no mistakes, no room for error being down by 10 going the second half. So I think it was great for Pat to come out there and 13 for 14. He only one incomplete pass, and the one incomplete pass he threw it away. He had a phenomenal second half, man, and tip my hat off to the coaching staff, all of the guys for staying hungry, man, and not giving up. Just being all the leaders on the team with Kelsey and Chris Jones, and Pat, with them boys being down 10, running to the locker room, and you got those guys in your ears telling you to come on like it ain't over. Like, still got 2 quarters left. I think that speaks volume and gave a lot of confidence to the young guys. You see the young guys play so well in the game, the secondary, everybody that Brett Veach drafted in the draft and contribute to the game in the Super Bowl. I tip my hat off. That's another contribute to the front office, man. Having those guys ready to play at this stage, at this time of the year, that's big. That's a big deal, and they're young and they're only going to get better from here. So that was a great win. Experience took us over the hump, and I can salute to Andy and his coaching staff and everybody from up top, man. They did a great job coming into the game with a great game.
Yeah, I mean, how about that Kadarius Toney trade paying off? Like that kind of looked like a maybe questionable deal for a lot of the year because he wasn't really making a huge impact, and then he comes through in the Super Bowl and makes two of the biggest plays of the game. So the front office staff, man, I haven't had very many times in my life where I felt like my favorite team has like a just rock solid front office that makes every right move. It's such a good feeling to not have that like anxiety in the off season that like Bears fans and people like that have. But that adrenaline's a hell of a drug, ain't it? I mean, Patrick could not have been feeling good coming out in the second half, but I mean, what I kept saying is there is no chance that guy is not going to play the second half of this football game. Like there's no way he's going to go sit on his couch for the next month and think about what might have been if he had toughed it out. Like he's getting out there one way or another. But then I mean, it seemed like just the adrenaline in the moment carried him a lot. What is your experience with that, with being able to play through pain or through injury when the gravity of the moment is so big?
Man, like you said, the adrenaline though takes over. The crowd with the stadium being packed, when you come out the tunnel entering the game, man, and you just look around and you see the crowd in the stadium and how loud it is, and you see the game faces that's on your teammates' face. It gets your adrenaline flowing, and once that get going, man, it's hard to feel anything down there. I experienced a high ankle sprain, and I think it was 2017, and 2017, my first week played against the Patriots, man. I had a high ankle sprain, and it was tough for me to deal with. So, and I play DB. So with Pat going out there playing quarterback, I was like, I was kind of iffy, but for him to go out there, man, and do what he did on that leg, I was surprised, man, because I know with that high ankle sprain, it's something tough to deal with, and contribute to the training staff. The training staff have to do a great job with him the last 3 weeks of the season, man, and that was key from him just getting that treatment from them taking him in and putting the time in with him, and he had very time at home with the kids and family. The last 3 weeks just getting treatment, make sure you get that leg right. So when the game started, that adrenaline just took over, man, and every little bit of treatment that he did, and once the ball got kicked off, I'm pretty sure that the treatment kicked in and the adrenaline flow kicked in. Pretty sure he got some Advil, some pretty good medicine.
I think it was a little heavier than Advil.
Yeah. But something to make that thing feel good. So I'm glad they was able to pull it together, man, and pull it off.
Ron, you've had a lot of experience, overcoming adversity as an NFL player, and you've been a part of these Kansas City Chiefs for a number of years under Andy Reid. What goes through the locker room when a team faces adversity like this, and what does Coach Reid tell you guys in a situation like this to continue to battle and find a way to pull through, especially in a big game like we saw on Sunday?
He just tell us to stay the course, man. Like in every big game, it's gonna be ups and downs. It's whoever can take the punches and come back with it, and and stay the course and stay composed. When it's a championship game like that, you got two good teams. You're gonna have big plays on both sides of the ball. You just can't get too up and you just can't get too down. You just got to stay on that straight level roller coaster, man. I think he do a good job of keeping guys composed, keeping guys together, and having their vision on the big prize at the end, and just play till the final whistle blows.
Hey, I want to kind of shift gears here for a second and give a shout out to my guy and yours, I believe, big Chiefs fan from the Lowco, Roman Singleton, coaching the former Beaufort Eagle. He's coaching the boys basketball team at Estill in the playoffs right now. And he's a huge Chiefs fan. I just saw him the other night. He was still rocking his Chiefs beanie. He's going to be wearing it till the spring. And I believe you guys were mates back in the day, right? So I think you guys know each other a little bit.
Oh yeah, Roman Singleton, man. That's my guy. We came up from knee high to the tree high, like they say back in the days, man. He was one of the guys that was always there when I was playing ball, coming up around me and all my friends. He was always there around. He played on the football team with us. He played around when I played baseball, basketball. So he's seen the whole growth in me, man. And he's a great dude. And salute to him. Congratulations, man, for getting that W, man, and pushing that team and having those kids play the way they play, man. That's real dope of you, man. I want you to keep up the good work. But that's a real good friend of mine, man. We go back in the days, play football together, and he saw my dream from the time it started. And yeah, salute to him, man. Shout out to my boy Roman.
Yeah, he's a
Speaking of
world-class human.
and
Yeah.
speaking of high school hoops, your Beaufort Eagles making a run of their own. The boys basketball team winning their first round game against Brooklyn Casey a couple days ago, and now they're back in action tonight on Friday against Lake City back at the Nest. So really exciting time once again to be a Beaufort Eagle. Samari Bonds, quarterback for that football team, throwing down a couple dunks. Michael Dennison having a great game on the glass. So I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this Jeremy Huff coach Beaufort Eagles basketball team, and maybe they can make a run of their own.
Oh yeah, I was following them boys a little bit, man. I follow the Beaufort Eagles program, so I see that the basketball team they're doing good and the playoffs and they're making a little run. I love it, man. Coach Jeremy been there since I've been there. He's a great dude. I'm happy for him. I'm happy they got getting things going in the right direction to keep that basketball program rolling.
Yeah, man, and you guys, Samari Bonds, the quarterback, is lighting it up. He threw a couple down the other night. That's good stuff.
Man, I seen that. I was like, man, to have your quarterback out there in the basketball court, just being athletic like that, that's a great thing for his future, man. Great thing for the Beaufort High athletics. Just knowing that they got a great athletic kid that can do everything. He's a great kid, man, a great athlete. I wish him well with all his luck in the future.
And you can't
I
do
want
it.
to know. Oh, go ahead. Yep, go
And
ahead,
you
Wes,
can't
sorry.
do it without great coaching, and we've seen that from Jeremy often. And actually, do you have a follow-up question on that?
I just wanted to know. I didn't actually have a follow-up. I just wanted to know how nervous you were at the end of that Super Bowl. Like, what's it like as a former player now watching as like a fan? What's that experience like, and how nervous are you?
Watching as a fan, I mean, since I've been in Kansas City, we have a winning record, and that took the quarterback. I feel like we don't have too much to worry about. I really don't go into games nervous. Just watching now, it's different when you watch it. I can talk a lot of stuff now on Twitter and be a little extra because when you play, you can't just go out there and speak like you play ball. But watching now, I'm just very calm and collected because I know we got a great coach. I know what we got out there. So the organization, everything starts up top. I've been in a couple organizations and they got a good organization from top down, staff, everybody in the building, and that's what it starts at. So I just say, man, being that them boys got a great organization, everybody else with their issues and problems going on, I believe that everything get into they can ride and overcome stuff into just being with their experience and the whole nine.
And I think that coaching staff, led by Andy Reid, did a masterful job adjusting to what the Eagles defense was trying to do. Tell me how important that was, especially in the second half, as Kansas City was able to make its comeback.
It was great, man, to have the game plan that they put together. They had 2 weeks to come up with a game plan, and Andy Reid and his coaching staff and Steve Spag, defensive coordinator, did a great job of coming up with a game plan, just showing Jalen Hurts different looks, just keeping them guessing, and just not them just know what we in, and because it's the championship game. I mean, everybody we know what we're doing. It's just a game of X's and O's, and to try to see who make the mistake. So it was great, man, with the game plan they came up with. The defense balled, and they got the stops they needed. And that's what great teams and great staffs do, to find a way to come up with the dub, no matter what rank the offense or defense is on an opponent team. And they did that.
Yeah, and it looks like we might lose our guy Bieniemy. We were lobbying for him to be coach in waiting, but it looks like Washington might snag him. I hope they get him a new owner over there, because you want to talk about an organization that does not have it going right from the top down. That one's a little bit messy. So I hope that sale goes through if he ends up there, because that would be that's not a great place to coach right now with the ownership situation. But yeah, that coaching staff, phenomenal. I think Wes was talking about some of the coaches we have here in the Low Country, and you played for some great ones with Clifford and Hatcher, and those guys are still around. What do you feel like we have some really great folks around here that are influencing the youth?
Oh yeah, I feel like we got some great folks around there influencing the youth. Like you said, with Coach Hatcher, Coach Clifford, Coach Liebert, all of the guys that's coming around there contributing to the kids, man, just trying to help the kids out and let them see the future. I think it can help for. I think it can help for a little bit more to have a couple more guys like me be at D and Puna Ford and the rest of those guys now solidifying themselves down there. I think it'll help more that we be more hands on and just show the kids and have when them boys have camps, just show them more and just be able to speak to them because a lot of them don't have somebody like me they can listen to or somebody like D or Puna Ford or anybody they can listen to hear their story. So I think they need a little bit more of that in person as they've been getting lately. I think it should as we keep it up, man. We got a lot of talent down there. I think the kids will come out the woodwork, and it's a lot of and the future is bright for them. I just think we got to just do what we got to do to get it about them.
Yeah, and you set the example alongside D. Delaney and Puna Ford. You have the ability to, if you work hard and put in the extra effort, 110% plus, you have the ability to make it out here and follow your dreams on the football field. And tell me about your plans and what you're hoping to do and what you're hoping to see to continue to ignite that dream for these young men to continue to follow their goals and achieve great things both on the football field and most importantly in life.
I'm hoping them boys, man. I'm hoping that they see, they take a page from somebody's book and just see that the future is bright, man. And number one thing is trouble. Just staying positive, get your school work, grades, and just doing the right thing. I think with a lot of those kids around there, be around a lot of negative stuff. So, that negative stuff just feed on you. And every time I come back, I try to tell them we need to stay positive as kids because we don't have a lot in there with all of the communities and everything shutting down. So we got to stay positive and help each other and just try to make it out of there because the chances are slim coming from down there. So we got to do everything right, do the small little things, and do it both for us.
Yeah, we're trying to do our part to, raise the tide and give everybody a better shot and put it on the map a little bit. But one thing I think that you can attest to, that D can attest to, that Puna can attest to, that Nick Pringle can attest to is it doesn't happen by accident. I mean, I think one of the dots we really have to connect for kids is the level of work ethic that it really requires. To get up and on to the next level. And you and Nick both went the junior college route, and that is a grind. But it is also a phenomenal opportunity to bridge the gap if you're willing to put in the work. So, just speak a little bit about that for any of our high school student athletes who may be listening, to kind of give them some perspective about, what kind of dedication and work ethic it really takes to rise to the top.
You have to be a dog. I must admit, to make it out of junior college. You can't just go in there and just not work. You have to go in there, put in the work. You got to put in the time. Because JUCO, that's one of the hardest routes I went through. I'm pretty sure Nick can tell you that's one of the hardest routes he went through. It's almost like a baby detention. They got you locked in the boxes. Not too much you know what I mean? So you gotta focus. If you grind and make it out of JUCO, it's a bright end to your future, man. Because everybody can't just go in there and make it up, but they got it set up where it's set up where it's successful, man. It's set up where the kids can succeed. You know what I mean? Second chance. You might not have your grades or whatever, so they just giving us a second opportunity to get our grades so we can go to that big school that we want to go to, or do what we want to do what we got to do. But junior college, man, it's a big help in any athlete's dream. Getting years back, extra years to play in school. That's a big part. It'll play a big part in a lot of athletes' lives. You see a lot of guys be fifth-year seniors playing football as a senior and not going to school because they didn't graduate. That's from, a lot of that come from the junior college route. You know what I mean? So JUCO can be good. It's a good thing. It gives you a second opportunity at your shot on getting to where you want to be. So I think it's a great op for a lot of kids who don't have the grades or who just aren't as good to come out, and it gives you the room to get yourself better and get right for the next level.
I do want to draw a distinction. We're seeing a lot of these kind of pop up junior college or postgraduate programs that don't seem to really be affiliated with a school or anything, and they're sending out offers. I do want kids to be wary of that. We're talking about accredited junior colleges like the Kansas Jayhawk Conference, and that's the one we're both familiar with. But there's others in the country. But you do want to make sure it's a NJCAA affiliated community college and not a fly-by-night operation that's trying to get you to pay money to come train with them or whatever. But it is a great opportunity, and certainly, I do have some connections in that world. You certainly do, and we're happy to help kids from here who maybe can't qualify at an NCAA school right away, but have the talent. Hook them up and get them in that structure where they can, get everything in order and thrive. So I just wanted to clarify that a little bit because I've definitely seen that popping up. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Yeah, I've been seeing that a lot, man, and that's the key. A lot of guys, I've seen that popping up, and like I said, it's another opportunity for these guys, and I love it. I went the go route, so I'm a big fan of that. I approach for that any day.
Well, Ron, that's 2 Super Bowl championships for your Chiefs in just 4 years. You think this is the start of something even bigger over there in Kansas City?
Yeah, like I think like Patrick Mahomes, we've been had something going. Ever since I was there, we haven't have a losing season since 2010. So I mean, to me, the dynasty been started. It seemed like people just now getting on the bandwagon and just now seeing like what we really got with the second Super Bowl. But the dynasty been started, but now I think for sure a lot of people eyes open and they understand what's going on in the organization right now.
I'm excited as a Chiefs fan, man. I mean, it's been a great run. I never could have envisioned that we'd have this long of a run of the team being as good as it is, because there were some really lean years. We didn't have a quarterback for a real long time, and it was rough for a while. But it's been really fun, and now it's kind of fun for probably the first time in my life to be a fan of like the villain of the league. Like everybody hates us now because Kelsey runs his mouth and Patrick's family is loud but it's kind of weird to be the heels, but flags fly forever, baby.
Yes, sir. It's the Chiefs forever.
Yeah, man. Ron, we've seen this Chiefs team win it all. We've seen this Beaufort High football team bring home that state title. Now we've got some basketball playoff teams looking to win their own championship. And a lot of similarities we've seen throughout all of these different teams and all their successes. Tell me about the biggest factors in your mind that define these championship teams and separate the good from the elite.
I think that the thing is, the difference is in the championship team, all of the guys stay together. All of the guys stay together, whether it's on the field, off the field. I can guarantee you, like a lot of teams that win championships, a lot of stuff goes on outside the building with those same guys. But a lot of people just don't know. But it's just having that connection, that bond, and no pointing fingers. Like I've seen that from the top down, from coaches, players. Nobody point fingers. It's nobody blaming no one. Everyone trying to get better. And the number one thing I see, having fun. One thing I know about the championship teams, they have fun all season long. You know what I mean? And that's the key. If you ain't having fun while you're out there, it's gonna be sad at the end. I see boys have fun. Since I got there, like I say, Patrick Holmes and Tyreek Hill and Kelsey, they play basketball every day in the locker room, just laugh, joke. You know what I mean? I don't care what situation it is. So, it's a time to have fun, and, at work, you got to have fun. And that's the key thing for the championship teams, boys staying together and just, believing in each other.
Chemistry matters. All those cliches are cliches for a reason, I mean, one team, one goal, one mission, all that stuff. Like it's mindset matters and positivity matters. So surround yourself with it. Well, we appreciate you, man. You are always so gracious to hop on with us and always have great insight. And we just enjoy the heck out of talking with you. So we'll look forward to doing it again real soon, man.
Yes, sir. Go Chiefs, man. We're looking forward to getting back next year.
Yeah, baby. We'll do it again next year.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Ghost. We'll have this one on the Lowco Sports Lowdown if you didn't catch it live. And if you want to rewatch it, we'll have much more over there. So thanks for joining us on Lowco Pigskin Live, Super Bowl edition. Until next time, go Lowco.